Welcome to Add Google Login to Next.js with NextAuth, an autism-friendly coding tutorial. Calm pace, no jargon, and we'll build it together in 7 clear steps. First, I'll show you the finished demo, then we'll set it up step by step. Here's the finished result. I click Sign in with Google, select my Google account, approve the prompt, and now I'm signed in. By the end, yours will work too, albeit a little differently most likely. In your project, install NextAuth with npm install next-auth. Now open a node window and run require open parenthesis open question mark crypto close question mark close parenthesis dot random bytes open parenthesis 32 close parenthesis dot toString open parenthesis quote base 64 quote and close parenthesis. Now create a file called .env.local at the root of your project. In this file, define 4 environment variables in this order. First, Google_client_ID. This stores the ID Google gives your app. Second, Google_client_secret. This stores the secret key Google generates for your app. Third, NextAuth_URL. This stores the base URL of your app, and for local testing, it's http://localhost:3000. And fourth, NextAuth_secret. This stores the string that you generated in the previous slide. Each variable stores something NextAuth needs to make Google Login work safely. Step 2 is setting up the NextAuth route. Inside your app folder, create a new folder called API. In that folder, create a folder called auth. And in that folder, create a new folder named open square bracket, period, NextAuth, one word, close square bracket. Then inside that folder, create a file called route.ts. This file is where you'll add the Google provider using the environment variables and export the handler as both get and post. That one file will handle sign in, sign out, callbacks, and sessions. Let's verify the route is responding. Run npm run dev, then run another command, curl http://localhost:3000/API/auth/session. Seeing null or empty brackets means there's no session yet and the endpoint is alive. After we add the UI and sign in, this will return a JSON object with your user details. Now we'll add the SessionProvider as a client wrapper. Create app/providers.tsx and put quote useClient end quote at the top. Create a providers component as described on screen. This makes useSession available to client components across the app. Step 4 is building the user interface. In app/page.tsx, use the useSession hook. If a user is signed in, show their name, email, and avatar with a sign out button. If not, show a sign in button that calls sign in, open parenthesis, 'Google, close parenthesis. Using a plain img element for the avatar keeps it simple. At this point, you should be able to view the application in your browser and sign in using Google. And then you should be able to sign out. Let's recap. We installed NextAuth and set up our .env.local file, created the authentication route, tested the session endpoint early, built a simple UI with sign in and sign out, and verified everything worked. And one last note. That strange looking open square bracket ..NextAuth close square bracket folder name is a dynamic catch-all route. It allows one file to handle many endpoints, like /signin/callback/Google and /session. We'll cover dynamic routing more deeply in its own tutorial. You did it! Google Login is now working in your Next.js app. Thank you for watching, and let's keep learning and growing together. And remember, if this kind of direct autism-friendly tutorial is helpful, subscribing is a great way to find your way back here.